have a question. I want to be respectful. If you have a statement, we really went past it. And if you have a question that you want to ask the commission, then I want to give you that opportunity to ask that question. And if we don't know the answer, we'll try to find it for you. But Ms. Doggett, I know you said you had a question. Want to go? If it's a question, I'll let you ask the question. Yes, ma'am.
All right. If the scenario is that this goes in and it proves that people are made ill, or people have to abandon their homes that are near the wind farm, or the farmers are hurt, who is accountable?
And that is a question you commissioners know the answer to that. I know. It's my understanding that there is a bond, but that's to take down the turbines, right? And Robin, I know people may not trust you, but would you like to field that question? Is everybody okay with Robin fielding that question?
As best I can.
Okay.
I was doing research for this about things like wind turbine syndrome, issues with animals, and I mean there have been cases brought forth, and so far, my research, there hasn't been a case where someone was awarded in the court for wind turbine syndrome for damaged animals due to the wind turbine syndrome, infrasound, or anything like that. To my knowledge, no.
Now she asked you though. Now, what would happen if there was something? What would happen? They would have the legal right to pursue.
Yeah, they would have legal right. Yeah, I mean, for anything.
But to whom? To whom?
To the company.
But if it's totally wait. One time.
What if you develop this and you sell it to Next Era? They don't have to honor your contract.
If someone buys a project, yes, they do.
All right. Now raise your hand, please, for me. And I don't feel like Jamie, you have a question.
Suppose you file bankruptcy shortly after receiving information of an illness and a lawsuit attached to the illness of multiple people in the community, including within a 10-mile radius, which would include Grambling High School, potentially threatening children. Suppose you received a multiple lawsuit of millions of dollars. Class action lawsuit of millions of dollars. Not just 1 million, multiple, close to $1 billion lawsuit. Is that company going to be bonded to cover that lawsuit in the court of law? Is that company going to file bankruptcy and vanish? That's my question.
And Jamie, to be honest, I mean, we have companies right up the road. I mean, any of this can happen at any time. We all know that. You know that they're class action suits. Yes, sir.
Just one quick question, kind of touches on this. Is this company, is it an LLC? And if so, what is the limit?
It's a corporation.
So it's not a limited liability corporation?
And yes, it's a corporation.
So it's not an LLC. Is that what you're saying?
Right, that's
Anthony, you had a question?
I just want to make a statement. Corporations do have a limited liability that by being a corporation. But I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I guess I'll address it to you. If since Senate Bill 12 failed, right, that doesn't actually give them the right to be here anyway. Right? So in other words, the law can't force you to give them a business license. And if they came and asked for a business license, will you give it to them? Or have they already asked for a business license and they already have a business license?
I don't know that there is a business license for that situation. I'm not aware of it.
So
you know, like
they can do business in our county without a business license.
In certain cases, law.
Well, then, you know, all of us need to quit paying our bills and earn our license, right? I mean, that's not the question. They're giving an unfair advantage over us, and that's not right.
There are certain businesses, Andrew, that don't have to. Lawyers do not have to have a business license.
And they shouldn't have an unfair advantage over everybody else.
Let me finish. Hairdressers do not have to have a business license.
That's an unfair advantage.
I can't help it. That's the legislature. That's what the legislature has.
That ain't it's right.
Well, It's not Rod Robertson's fault, it goes back to the state legislature.
I pointed at you when you went there, I said, if you messed it up, I'll report it.
Right.
All right.
I understand.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, there are certain businesses who don't have to have a business license. A service is not a tree.
I operate a service company, and I have to have a business, I got to have a state license before you give me a business license.
I understand. Certain do, but some don't. And it's different across the board. It's different across the board. But that's a state thing. The county doesn't make that decision. Ms. Shannon.
Where would the energy go once we have it from the winter? Because I'm hearing rumors that Cleburne County is not going to benefit from the additional energy source that is going to be going to Tennessee or redirected. Is that true?
And I can't answer that. It's my understanding that the company is in negotiation with a certain utility. It's my understanding
There are some, right now, we don't have any. The way we work as an industry is we sign a long-term power purchase agreement with a utility to buy the power. Now, the positive of that is, it's 25 years at a set price. That's why the wind industry is attractive, because natural gas, coal, other fossil fuels, you don't know what price is going to be longer than 2 or 3 years. Well, for wind, because our fuel source is wind, we know the price for 25 years. So we can sign a 25-year deal. Right now, we have not got that deal signed, but we've got 3 different potential utilities to buy this power. You've got Southern Company, Alabama Power, Southern Company, again, Georgia Power, and TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority. All 3 of those could potentially buy this power. And from there, it goes to their grid, and power goes, those electrons go wherever they're going. So it could be any of those 3. But as of right now, let's take, for example, Alabama Power. Alabama Power, as we speak, is buying 400 megawatts of wind farms out of state. 200 megawatts in Oklahoma, 200 megawatts in Kansas. That means all that economic development are going in those 2 other states, not Alabama. So I can't tell you the electrons from this wind farm will stay here or go in the grid and get dispersed. I can tell you from this wind farm, you will get the local economic development thing.
Question.
This is a question. According to testimony Thursday, hydroelectric costs 1 cent per kilowatt hour, nuclear 2, natural gas 4, dirty coal 5, and 1 8 to produce. That being the case, I also heard, and I do know, that if you purchase a block of wind-produced energy, your power bill actually goes up because you're doing the right thing. Is that correct?
That's not correct. 2012 study.
Give me a lot of line for a congressman to lie in front of legislation.
Well, I mean, that's not correct. 2000 study, UnitedStatesEnergy.gov. Saw a video yesterday. Wind power, 2012, 4 cents per kilowatt on average across the United States.
That's after the subsidy kicks in.
What industry doesn't get a subsidy in fossil fuel or renewable? Which one doesn't get a subsidy?
Well, just tell the whole thing, that's all we ask. The subsidy gets it down so it moves that way.
Without the subsidy, it's 10 times higher?
2 cents higher. The subsidy is the federal production tax credit. It's 2.2 cents per kilowatt, and that's for wind and solar, 2.2 cents. So let's say, I quoted you, on average 4 cents, without that it's 6 cents. So natural gas, did you say was 5?
Natural gas is 4, coal is 5, wind is 8. I'll give you Representative from Andalusia's name and number.
2012 study, and I can send you the link to Judge Robertson and disperse it.
He's probably 2013.
Is 4 cents.
Lacey, you had a question?
Yeah, it's pretty simple one. What was put into place as far as the decision that the commissioners made was to go all the way to the Senate to exclude all of us, not just around here, around Turkey Heaven Mountain. This is the question. But all of Cleburne County from here on out. That's a pretty big decision. I would say at least 80% of the questions since recess that have been directed from citizens of Cleburne County to you guys You're having the windman answer them. Shouldn't you have had all these, you should be able to answer all these questions at this point.
And Wes?
So my question is, why can't you?
I'm not a wind expert, Wes, but I'm a probate judge. Like I said earlier, I went and heard this back in 2011, and I'm guilty of trying to find opportunity for Cleburne County. So, and when this company came, they've been working with Mr. Kitchens, and I, as probate judge, we don't have any zoning. As chairman of the county commission, we don't have any zoning. This was between the company and the county, and the landowner. As far as them doing business, there's a lot of folks that do business with other companies. Some of you may have chicken houses. You do company with cable. We do not. We don't monitor that. Wait a second. I'm going to ask Mr. Gibbs.